The world thought they knew everything about Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, two of the most dazzling stars in China's entertainment galaxy. Their chemistry was undeniable from the moment the Untamed first aired. Every glance, every accidental touch, every shared smile sparked rumors, theories, and dreams in the hearts of millions. But no one, not even their most devoted fans, could have guessed what was really happening behind those perfect smiles and glittering red carpet appearances. Because while the world debated their friendship, a secret far deeper, far more beautiful, and almost impossible to believe was quietly unfolding behind closed doors. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo weren't just best friends, co-stars, or kindred spirits. They were married, secretly, passionately, and entirely under the radar. And now, piece by piece, the truth is starting to come out. It began on a quiet evening in 2021, long after the frenzy of the Untamed had cooled down. The two stars had gone their separate ways, publicly, at least. Xiao Zhan was busy with acting projects, traveling between Beijing and Shanghai, while Wang Yibo was conquering the world of music, racing, and variety shows. But beneath the surface, something powerful was still binding them together. Something the cameras could never capture. Late one night, a small, private jet landed quietly at a secluded airstrip near Hangzhou. No fans, no press, just two figures, both wearing dark caps and masks, slipping into a waiting black car. That night, they disappeared into the misty hills, and what happened there would remain one of the best-kept secrets in the entertainment industry. In a secluded villa surrounded by bamboo and silence, there was no fame, no paparazzi, no spotlight, just Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo. The soft golden light of candles flickered against the wooden walls. Xiao Zhan, wearing a simple white shirt, stood by the window, his gaze distant yet calm. Wang Yibo approached from behind, his footsteps almost soundless. "You know," Wang Yibo said in that low, steady voice of his, "no one would believe this. Not even if we told them." Xiao Zhan turned, smiling gently. "That's why we don't have to." It was in that stillness, under the muted hum of cicadas, that they exchanged vows. No priest, no audience, no cameras. Just whispered promises, the glint of two identical silver rings, and the soft echo of hearts choosing each other over everything else. That was a night they married. Quietly, secretly, completely. In public, nothing changed. They continued their careers like professionals. Xiao Zhan glowed on magazine covers, graceful as ever. Wang Yibo raced motorcycles, rapped on stage, and filmed his next big series. But their fans started noticing subtle details, things that didn't add up. Matching rings that appeared, vanished, and reappeared in different interviews. A particular bracelet Xiao Zhan wore, one that Wang Yibo had been seen adjusting during a behind-the-scenes clip. A mysterious post on Xiao Zhan's Weibo about finding home in the most unexpected place, followed days later by Wang Yibo posting a photo of a sunset with the caption "Same sky, same heart." Fans called it coincidence, but those who looked closer began to wonder. Behind those subtle signs was a story that could melt even the coldest hearts, a love that survived silence, scrutiny, and sacrifice. They built their secret life carefully, like a hidden painting behind a masterpiece. Their schedules would coincidentally align, both appearing in the same city within days of each other. During promotions, they would exchange fleeting looks that seemed to speak a language no one else understood. In one now famous award show moment, Xiao Zhan had stumbled slightly while walking on stage. The camera caught Wang Yibo's expression in that instant. Panic, then relief, then the smallest smile when Xiao Zhan steadied himself. To the casual viewer, it meant nothing. But to those who knew how to read between the lines, it said everything. They couldn't be open, not in an industry that watched every move, not in a country where certain boundaries still existed. But they didn't need the world's approval. What they had was quiet, real, and unbreakable. In their home, a modest yet warm residence hidden in the outskirts of Chengdu, life was peaceful. Xiao Zhan often cooked, his laughter echoing through the kitchen while Wang Yibo, with his usual teasing grin, tried, and failed, to help. Their home was filled with small signs of togetherness. Shared sneakers by the door, 2 toothbrushes in 1 cup, handwritten notes tucked between books. It was domestic, ordinary, and that's what made it extraordinary. Yet, secrets like that never stay hidden forever. In late 2024, a photographer following a racing event in Thailand caught what seemed like an innocent moment. Wang Yibo exiting a small art gallery late at night, accompanied by someone wearing a mask and a black hoodie. The figure's posture, the way he turned his head, the subtle tilt of his smile, fans froze the image, enhanced it, and gasped. It looked unmistakably like Xiao Zhan. But before the story could explode, the photo disappeared. Posts were deleted. The photographer's account vanished, and silence once again fell over the fandom. Still, whispers grew louder. Some insiders hinted that the 2 stars shared a home abroad, where they could live freely away from the eyes of the press. Others claimed a quiet anniversary celebration took place at a private villa near Kyoto, where the pair reportedly rented out the entire property for 3 days. Whether those stories are true or not, one thing is certain. The bond between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo goes far beyond friendship or coincidence. It's something deeper, something that glows quietly even in the shadows. The beauty of their story lies in its secrecy. They never sought attention or validation. They built a world of their own, invisible to outsiders, but vibrant to them. There are stories of Xiao Zhan leaving small notes in Wang Yibo's luggage before he travels. Eat well, rest, come home safe. And of Wang Yibo quietly rearranging Xiao Zhan's schedule to make sure he never misses a doctor's appointment or a good night's sleep. There's love in the quiet gestures, a hand on a shoulder, a glance that lingers too long, a smile that only one understands. Some fans still believe it's all fantasy. But others, the ones who have followed every subtle sign, every hidden message, know there's more than what meets the eye. They see it in the way Xiao Zhan lights up when Wang Yibo's name is mentioned, in how Wang Yibo always defends Xiao Zhan with a softness rare for him. Behind fame, lights, and noise, there is a story of 2 souls who chose each other in silence. A story that began with friendship, bloomed into something unspoken, and turned into a promise sealed in the quiet night, a promise that no one knew about. And perhaps that's what makes it so beautiful. Because not every love story needs a stage. Some are written in whispers, lived in shadows, and remembered in eternity. When you look at them now, at the poise of Xiao Zhan, the calm of Wang Yibo, you might not see wedding rings or public declarations. But look closer. Look into their eyes when they cross paths, into the half-smiles they exchange on stage, the ease of their energy when they are near each other. There's something there, something the cameras can't quite capture. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's the secret of a lifetime. And maybe, just maybe, it's the story of 2 stars who found forever in each other, quietly, beautifully, and against all odds. The story of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's secret marriage isn't just about 2 stars defying the odds. It's about the breathtaking intimacy of 2 souls who found each other when the world wasn't watching. After that quiet night in the bamboo villa when they exchanged vows, their love began to blossom in a way that could only be described as cinematic, a masterpiece painted in moments the cameras never saw. When the morning light filtered through the thin curtains of their hidden home, it wasn't fame that greeted them, but peace. Wang Yibo would always wake first, slipping quietly from the bed so as not to disturb Xiao Zhan, who often slept deeply after late-night filming. He'd make coffee, 2 cups, 1 strong, 1 mild, just the way Xiao Zhan liked it. Then he'd stand by the window, watching the sunrise, lost in thought until he felt the faint brush of Xiao Zhan's arm around his waist. "Don't disappear into your thoughts so early," Xiao Zhan would whisper, his voice still heavy with sleep. Wang Yibo would smile faintly, just making sure the world is still ours. In those moments, there were no managers, no contracts, no screaming fans, only the simple rhythm of hearts that had learned to beat in sync. Their mornings were their sanctuary. Despite their secret vows, the outside world demanded attention. Xiao Zhan's career soared higher each year, while Wang Yibo's fame became international. They had to keep their connection hidden, buried beneath layers of professionalism and careful distance. But love has a way of leaking through even the smallest cracks. During a 2022 live event, Xiao Zhan had to present an award to Wang Yibo. The tension was electric. Fans were watching, cameras flashing. Yet when Xiao Zhan handed the trophy over, their fingers brushed for barely a second. That single touch sparked a storm online. Did you see how he smiled at him? Why did Wang Yibo look nervous? What no one knew was that just the night before, they'd been together, celebrating their one-year wedding anniversary in a quiet hotel suite, where Xiao Zhan had cooked Wang Yibo's favorite hot pot and placed a single candle between them. They had laughed until they cried, reminiscing about how absurdly secret their happiness had to be. You know, Xiao Zhan had said softly, watching the flame dance between them, sometimes I wish the world knew. Not for attention, but because I want to stop pretending. Wang Yibo had reached across the table, taking his hand gently. They'll never understand it the way we do. Let's protect it instead of proving it. It wasn't just a promise, it was a pact. Their love became something sacred, guarded, invisible, but alive in every heartbeat. There were moments when hiding became almost unbearable, when the weight of secrecy pressed too hard on their chests. Like the time Xiao Zhan's schedule kept him away for over a month. Wang Yibo, filming in another city, had quietly flown overnight to see him, wearing a mask, cap, and jacket to avoid attention. At 2 a.m., he knocked softly on Xiao Zhan's hotel door. When the door opened, Xiao Zhan froze, eyes wide, disbelief turning into a rush of emotion. "What are you doing here?" he whispered, pulling him inside. "I missed home," Wang Yibo said simply, his voice cracking on the last word. They stood there for a long time. No words, just the sound of each other's breathing. Sometimes, love doesn't need grand gestures. It just needs presence. That night, they sat on the floor by the window, sharing instant noodles and quiet laughter, the city lights glowing like stars beneath them. To the world, they were miles apart. But right there, they were infinite. Their secret language was everywhere. Encoded messages, shared accessories, mirrored social media captions. Xiao Zhan once posted, "Home isn't a place, it's a person." Days later, Wang Yibo responded with, "Already home." Their fans called it coincidence. But those who had followed their story knew better. Even on set, their connection showed. During an award rehearsal, Xiao Zhan was seen sitting alone backstage, looking tired. Wang Yibo quietly approached, crouched beside him, and handed him a bottle of water. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. A soft smile passed between them, one that spoke volumes. The staff around pretended not to notice, but whispers later spread through the corridors. They're closer than anyone thinks. In their hidden home, life was filled with tenderness. Xiao Zhan would sometimes sketch in the evenings, simple pencil drawings of moments only he and Yibo shared. The curve of a smile, a hand reaching out, two coffee mugs beside each other. Wang Yibo, meanwhile, would play soft guitar melodies, often creating tunes that never made it into his albums. Songs too personal to share, written only for the man sitting beside him. One night, after Xiao Zhan had fallen asleep on the couch, Wang Yibo quietly took out his phone and recorded a short clip. Xiao Zhan's head resting on his shoulder, the faint sound of rain against the window, and the gentle strumming of his guitar. He never posted it, but he watched it whenever they had to be apart, as if it were his reminder of peace. They were living two lives, one for the world, one for themselves. And somehow, they made it work. Their love was not built on fireworks but on quiet constellations, moments small yet powerful enough to light their universe. Like the night they got caught in a sudden downpour while walking their dog in the countryside. Instead of running for shelter, Xiao Zhan spun around, laughing, drenched but radiant, while Wang Yibo stared in awe, as if seeing him for the first time again. "You're crazy," Wang Yibo said, trying to sound annoyed. "Then you must be too." Xiao Zhan grinned, pulling him close. And right there, under the rain, they kissed, not the fiery kind the world imagines, but one filled with warmth and belonging. The kind that said, "We made it this far, together." Even now, as they continue to live under the world's watchful gaze, their secret remains protected. The rings they exchanged that night in the bamboo villa still exist, though rarely worn in public. They rest safely in a hidden drawer at home, a reminder that even the brightest stars can have a secret sky of their own. Their love story isn't about rebellion. It's about devotion. It's about choosing silence over spectacle, reality over rumor, and truth over show. So, when you see them on screen, smiling or standing side by side, look closely. There's more there than fame. There's love, quiet, fearless, and eternal. Dizzy, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more breathtaking stories about Xiao Zhan, Wang Yibo, and the untold love that continues to inspire millions in silence.